Welcome back to Fenralion Gamers. Today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest surprises of the year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It wasn't really a game I was super hyped for, to be honest. I didn't know much about the devs, and my expectations were low. But guess what? The review scores dropped, and it got a 92. I was like, wait, what? So I jumped on Game Pass to give it a shot, and thank God I did, because after 40 hours with this game, I was honestly blown away. I've got a ton to talk about, but first, a quick reminder, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. All right, let's get into it. First off, the game's world is just wild. Imagine our world, but broken. Something happened, and now people live under a totally different system. In this world, nobody lives forever. Every year, a certain age group is selected to be removed from the system. The person who makes that decision is called the Painter. And this year, it's the 33-year-olds. You're part of a group trying to save them, because that could be your friends, your family, the people you love. This system's been going on for decades, and no one's ever been able to stop it, until now. But it's not just the theme that grabs you, it's the emotional weight. Your character isn't just doing a job, it's personal. They're rebelling against this twisted system for the people they care about. And you can feel that while playing. You don't just care about the plot, you care about the fight itself. At some point, you'll catch yourself thinking, man, someone's got to stop this Painter, because next year, it could be you. Now here's the most surprising part, the presentation. The studio behind this isn't even that big, but what they pulled off, it's straight up impressive. The cinematic transitions, the atmosphere, the voice acting, the music, everything's top tier. Honestly, even big studios like Ubisoft or EA don't always nail it like this. If you remember Kingdom Come: Deliverance, it's got that same indie spirit, made with limited resources but full of heart. You'll keep asking yourself, wait, a small team made this? Now, let's talk about the part I was most skeptical about, the gameplay. Expedition 33 uses a turn-based combat system, and normally, I'm not a fan. It slows things down, gets repetitive. But here, they flipped the script. They added active mechanics into the mix. Quick time events where you actually influence the action. You're not just watching things happen, you're making them happen. Hit the right button at the right time and your attacks hit harder, or you counter the enemy. It's not boring, it's tactical and reflex-based. Even I ended up loving it. Yeah, it's a turn-based system, but the way they deliver it makes all the difference. Usually with these systems, you just pick a move and sit back while it plays out. But here, they threw in quick time events that make you feel like part of the action. You're not just clicking a button, you're timing it, right? Hit it at the perfect moment and boom, more damage, stunned enemies, total momentum shift. What's even cooler is that it's not just your attacks. Enemy moves involve active inputs too. When they go after you, you're not just sitting there taking it. If you time things right, you dodge or block and launch a counterattack. It keeps you locked in, focused every second. I used to say turn-based isn't my thing, but this game totally changed that. The pace doesn't slow down, it actually ramps up. I really felt that during my first boss fight. The boss's attacks weren't random, they had a pattern. At first, I got destroyed, but then I started studying their moves, figured out the timing. I learned when to block, when to strike back. And when I finally dropped that boss, the satisfaction I felt, I haven't felt that in a long time. The game helps you grow, and it feels natural. One of the strongest parts of the combat system is the variety of enemies. A lot of JRPGs fall into the trap of making you fight the same enemies over and over again. Expedition 33 avoids that. Sure, you'll see repeat enemy types, but just enough. You never get bored. Every battle has its own rhythm and challenge. And then there's the character system, which honestly deserves its own spotlight. You can have up to 5 people in your party, but only 3 fight at a time. That means you're constantly making choices. Who to take, who to leave. Some characters complement each other, others clash. So you can't just go for the strongest. You've got to think about team synergy. The game actually makes you think. And every character, even just a little, changes how things play out. And get this, they've added fairies. Every character has a fairy companion that helps in battle. Some heal you, some poison enemies, some boost your defense. So you're not just picking characters, you're picking fairies to match your strategy. And it doesn't feel overwhelming, the system's simple but super effective. You pick it up right away. Okay, now let's get to the one thing that really annoyed me. The map. This game has no map. Sure, the paths aren't super confusing, but the environments look so similar that sometimes you can't tell where you are. You'll be like, is this a new area? And then boom, you realize you've already been there. I can't tell you how many times I thought I was going forward only to end up backtracking. At one point I was like, am I losing my mind? But no, it's not you. A simple mini-map would fix all of this. The game sends you to specific regions on the map. It's not open world, it's more like segmented zones. You pick a location, go in, do your thing. Main mission, side mission, whatever pops up. There's not a ton of deep exploration, but that doesn't make it bad. For a game with a tight budget, it actually works really well. It's focused, it flows, and honestly, if you're tired of open world bloat, this setup is a breath of fresh air. The visual style fits the story perfectly. It's muted, a little gloomy, but easy on the eyes. There were moments I just stopped and stared at the scenery. Some areas, I literally didn't move the character for a bit, just soaking in the vibe. The lighting especially is so well done. Sunlight coming through a hole in the ceiling, hitting floating dust particles. That alone made the scene. The game has style, and more importantly, its own unique feel. That's what makes it memorable. Now let's talk voice acting. Man, they crushed it. The characters feel real, especially the main character's internal monologues. They hit hard. The performances never feel fake or forced. It's all grounded and emotional. Same with the music. It ramps up during fights, chills out during dramatic scenes. The sound design actually works with the story, and it pulls you deeper into the world. For the average player, Expedition 33 gives you around 30 hours of gameplay. But if you go for side quests, explore character relationships, and take on some hidden boss fights, that number jumps to 50 or even 60 hours. And the best part, it never gets boring. The game keeps throwing new stuff at you, new characters, new mechanics. You never get that, oh, let this be over feeling. If anything, you finish it thinking, man, I wish it kept going. Some games come from huge studios and feel soulless. Others come from small indie teams, but you feel the passion. Expedition 33 is the second kind. You feel the love in every second of gameplay. And when it's over, you're not just remembering the mechanics. You're remembering what it made you feel. If you're looking for an RPG that gives you more than just gameplay, this is it. If you've got Game Pass, you've got no excuse. Download it and dive in. Even if turn-based combat isn't your thing, give it a shot. I used to feel the same way, but this game made me realize, wait, turn-based can be like this. Does the game have flaws? Sure. Is the map issue annoying? Definitely. But those are tiny issues in a game that has this much heart and vision. What big studios can't manage with massive budgets, this team totally nailed. And that brings us to the end of the video. Now it's your turn. If you've played Expedition 33, drop a comment and let me know. Who was your favorite character? Which boss fight gave you the most trouble? Or if you haven't played it yet, do you think it's worth a shot? Let's talk down in the comments. And if you liked the video, leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, come join us. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.